Guys, I wanted an Italian gown. So today, that's what we're gonna make.
So I began as I always do and read over the pattern instructions. In this case, it's the American Duchess Guide to 18th Century Dressmaking. I then go in and make any notations on pattern adjustments I think may be needed and how much fabric I expect will be required. From there, I move on to drafting. This book provides a grid, so I counted square by square, inch by inch to transfer the pattern to human size. This pattern specifically fit me rather well out of the book, so very little adjustment was needed. Once the pattern is cut out, I move on to making a simple mock-up out of a thin muslin that I have.
Okay, so for mock-up number 2, I think it fits fine in the front and in the sides. On the side, the waist falls precisely where I would like it to now. The back, the neck at the top I think is a little bit too high. I'll probably lower that. The only other problem I have is a little bit of gaping here at the neckline where it meets the shoulder, and I think maybe I'll just take it and kind of, yeah, I'm gonna have to make an adjustment there. But I think once the sleeves are set in too, that'll kind of, hopefully it'll fix this little issue I've got going on here. Maybe, no, yeah, I think I need to shorten the shoulder straps because they might be a little bit too long for me. But other than that, I think I am quite happy with this.
Okay, so far this is what I have for Lobelia. I have mocked up the bodice, and I'll make a couple little alterations so it fits better. I had to take it in maybe 1/4 inch at the upper neckline so that it fit me better. And then, what was the other thing I did? I can't remember. Oh, I had to shorten the actual shoulder strap. However, I need to shorten it from the back instead of the front like I did because now the arm size is too small. And I'm hoping if I shorten it from the back instead of the front, then I'll kind of resolve that issue. If not, then I think I'll probably just slightly alter the arm size. So I had to actually re-pattern the bodice back because the mock-up version was so incredibly different from the actual original pattern. So I just pieced it off and then repatterned it, so on the new one I could just work directly from the pattern. The other two matched up pretty well except for a slight change to the arm's eye on that one and then just shortening the shoulder strap on that one. Okay, so here we have the new pattern pieces. I have the, what is that? I can't read. The front bodice, the bodice back, and the shoulder strap. I think that's all the pieces. Let me double check. Yes, okay, that's all the pieces. So, now that I've got those, I'm going to go ahead and cut them out on this leftover cotton twill that I have and the fashion fabric. I gave pattern matching an attempt that was immediately abandoned in favor of just cutting out the bodice pieces, because cutting out fabric is my least favorite part. For this dress, I used a cotton bedsheet as well as some cotton twill to give the bodice structure.
Alright, so I have 2 of each bodice piece cut out properly this time, I think. Yeah.
putting wrong sides together so I know that I cut the correct sides. Because that's happened before. Okay. At this point, I decided to turn my attention to the sleeves. And in this case, I decided to line the sleeves in a yellow silk taffeta that I had lying around from another project because A, it's yellow and matches the dress, and B, it's slippery, so it makes putting on the gown easier. I had it, so I used it. Then I moved on to piecing together the bodice pieces. I also made an alteration to the bodice where it was not quite fitting my waist. I pinched out the excess and marked it on the twill before restitching the pieces together. I then took it to the iron to press open the seam and trim off the excess. Then I decide to work on the skirt. Here I measure from one side of my waist to one side, and not my full waist, to get the measure of where I want the skirts to stop. I also give pleat math an obligatory go before promptly deciding math is not my area and pleating it on the dress form. Procrastinating the pleating, I decide to finish the interior bodice seams instead. Okay, back to the pleats. I basted these down with 3 rows of spaced back stitches, being sure to catch each pleat. This will just help them keep their shape before I go in and attach them permanently to the bodice itself. Okay, so here is the dress so far on the dress form without any of the underpinnings because those aren't made yet. But as you can see, the dress form is a little bit broader than I am in the back, so it doesn't actually close on this form, but she is on there over the stays. In the back here, I think it actually should come down to a point, but I haven't done that, so I think that's just a simple matter of going in and fixing the hem, just kind of tucking it under a little bit more until it comes to a point, because right now it squares off and that looks very weird. Pleating is done and basted in place as well, so now it's just a matter of attaching these sleeves, setting the sleeves, which I'm not really that scared of, and finishing any interior seams that are not yet done. The main seams going down the back though, however, are all basted down to the lining and tidy. So once I set the sleeves, I will go in and I will finish those seams as well. I think after that, I'll probably go ahead and make the petticoat out of our very pretty brown fabric. And thus begins the attempts at making the sleeves. Okay, so in the interest of not confusing the two anymore, because I keep doing that, I just went ahead and stacked the right sleeve on top of the right sleeve and the left sleeve on top of the left sleeve. And hopefully we will do this right this time, because I'm pretty sure this is like the third time.
Or so you thought, as you once again try to match the correct sleeve to the correct lining. Sleeves finally matched up. I went ahead and backstitched them safely together before they mismatched themselves again. And then I tried them on to be sure they fit. And then I tried setting them. Tried being the key word here.
These sleeves are now attached, nice and sturdy. I did end up pleating the top just to kind of ease in the sleeve a bit. Don't know how accurate that is, but it creates a cute little poof, so I'm gonna leave it. On the back, I've just pinned it in place for now, but it will eventually get hemmed into a sharper point. And then I have tucked in the lining of the sleeve, and I've pinned it so that I create a nice finished edge here. There will be ruffles there, and up here as well to be very pretty and very cute. So now I've got the skirt of the dress here, and I just need to go in and even up the hem and actually hem the hem. So that is next. I think this finishing work I will do probably tomorrow while I'm at work, during my lunch break at work. Whereas this, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started on it tonight, because I have to hem the bottom of the skirt, and then I do have to finish the edges, although this is on a salvage, so maybe not that side. But this side, definitely need to finish that edge. Alright, so I put it on without any stays because I can't be bothered to take them off the mannequin. So just wanted to check the fit of the sleeves, since that's actually what I've just applied, and this one is fantastic. I've got almost a full range of motion. Very pleased. This one, on the other hand, I've got this curve, this little that going on right there, which I suspect is because I set the sleeves wrong. So I think I'm going to have to pick apart the sleeve and take it out and untwist it and reset it, because apparently when I set it in twisted, and that's what's causing the fabric to want to do this number. And like, so it should really be sitting more like this one. Like this one is, where it's kind of right where I bend my elbow. Whereas on this one, it's kind of off to, it's almost on the side of my shoulder rather than where the joint meets the torso. So I
think that's what I'm gonna have to do in order to fix that, which is really sad because I did go in and finish all the seams as well after I set the sleeve. Should have tried it on first, but I didn't. So here we are.
Sleeveless conquered, I finally attached the skirt to the bodice, being sure to do the fancy thing of folding the raw edge down away from the bodice waist. This keeps the waist trim while also helping to fill out the skirts with the extra bulk. Lastly, and very haphazardly, I trimmed and leveled the hem of the skirt. I did finish this properly off camera, which is also where I made the petticoat, off camera. Except for this footage where I was pleating up the skirt on the dress form. And this footage of turning up the hem. That is very deep hem at about 7 inches. And I know this probably isn't the correct way to do a hem, but I didn't want to cut off any excess, and in the wise words of Bernadette Banner, I don't think there is any single one way to do things, just different ways. And this way worked for me. I was able to get a level hem with enough weight to hold down the top of the pleats. So. And then of course I just prick stitched the hem into place using a matching thread. And here it is in all its finished glory.
Okay, just kidding, because I forgot that we have to add the ruffles and the trimming and the cuffs and all that. So, this I ordered off of Etsy. It's really pretty, just little cotton lacing, and that will be tucked around the edges of the sleeves, kind of like I'll gather it. It will be gathered and attached to the sleeves. And then sitting on top of that, above the sleeves, will be this little, pretty sure it's polyester, trim that I found at JoAnns. So that'll just kind of sit on top, and then that will be gathered underneath those gathers. I will also carry this around the neckline of the dress as well.
So in order to gather the cotton lacing, I just ran some gathering stitches, just some basic running stitches across the length of the top of it, and gathered it down. I also straightened out the gathers as I went, and then I just took that top polyester pleating, and just pinned that in place on top as I gathered the cotton, just so I can make sure I got the lengths correct. I just pinned it as I gathered and then kept gathering after rethreading my needle until it matched the length of the pleated gathers.
Okay, and here it is with the flounce and trimming attached, and the petticoat hemmed to the proper length for a hobbit. Again, still it doesn't like to close over the dress form because she's bigger than me, but there is the top trim and the bottom trim, and then I just kind of mocked up how the gathers would be in the back if I was so inclined to do it. I'll probably add the tapes in later to that, but there it is. And that concludes the making of our 18th century Italian gown, and I hope you'll join me next time where we go ahead and construct the hats.